So right off the bat, I mean, the first thing I would say is that, in my opinion, anybody who's able to show up to CrossFit on a consistent basis and to do it day after day is already extremely mentally tough. I mean, each workout that you come into each day, each workout that we do in here is challenging. I mean, it hurts. It hurts in kind of a unique way each and every time, and it really takes a mentally tough person to show up here each day and to push themselves in the workout and to feel that pain and keep going and keep pushing themselves. So in my opinion, you know, every CrossFitter out there who's doing it consistently is among the top 90 or 95% of mentally tough people in the world. And when we're talking to a group of CrossFitters like we are now, really we're talking about, well, how can we dial in that extra 10 or 20% and, you know, maybe to lift 10 or 20 more pounds or to take a minute or two off of our workout times. And I definitely think there are some specific strategies that we can implement to help that and to prove that. And the first thing I would say is, especially as it applies to your typical WOD format, your high intensity workout, is to set a specific goal for every workout. Okay, why is that important? All right, so simple example that I've heard in a lot of different places is, if I tell you not to think of a pink elephant, what's the first thing that you think of? A pink elephant, right? So in the case of a workout, if you kind of go in and you're kind of going through that workout, you're focused on your technique, you don't really have a goal, you're just going through the motions, and all of a sudden it gets hard, okay? That pain kind of shows up in that workout. Well, if you don't have anything else to focus on, the thing you're going to focus on is that pain, all right? And if you don't have that self-talk in place to overcome that pain, then you're going to kind of break down and slow down and not be able to push past that pain. So by having a specific goal for every workout, you know, for an AMRAP, it's having a specific amount of rounds that you want to hit. For a time workout, you have a specific time that you want to hit, and sort of knowing what pace is required per round in order to hit that time, and sticking to it. And that way, when that pain shows up, yeah, you're aware that that pain is there. It's not that you don't notice it, but ultimately you're so focused on that end result, you're so focused on getting to 7 rounds or getting under 7 minutes that it doesn't matter when that pain is there, that you know you can push through because you're so focused on that goal. You don't get caught up in the pain. So by having a specific goal, it allows you to keep your focus in the right place and keep that self-talk throughout the workout positive towards that goal, rather than, again, focused on how much that workout hurts and that pain that's present. All right. Number 2 is treating every lift like a 1 rep max. So a lot of times when we talk to athletes that don't feel like they're mentally tough, it's when they get to those heavy weights and they psych themselves out, and you know, they might be doing a clean and jerk, and you know, their 1 rep max is 100 pounds and they got 95 pounds on the bar and it looks easy. It goes up like a toy, and then they throw on 2.5s, they get up to 100 pounds, and all of a sudden that bar, they drop it before it even goes above their waist. They literally psych themselves out because they know the number that's on that bar, and some people can't lift when they know the numbers on the bar because of that reason. They don't feel like they're mentally tough in that sense. So I think the biggest issue with that I see is that people are lifting a certain way, and then when they get to a 1 rep max, they approach it differently. They treat it differently than every other lift. And I think that when it comes to being mentally tough, you have to treat every lift like it's your 1 rep max. So whether you're warming up with an empty bar, you gotta have that pre-lift routine should be the same for that 1 rep max. So the same way you chalk your hands, the same way you step up to the bar, and the same things that you focus on for that empty bar, you should be focusing on for your 1 rep max. And that way, when you step up to a 1 rep max, you're not just telling yourself that it's just like every other lift, but you've literally ingrained that into your body, where every single lift you treat the same. And if you do that, that's going to make you feel more mentally tough at those higher weights, because you know it's just a matter of executing the routine that you just did for all those other 30 weights, you know, along the way. And then the third thing is practicing. I mean, if you talk about a lot of the great athletes in every other sport, they put in the work, and what makes them mentally tough is that the muscle memory is taken over. I mean, they're so confident in their abilities because they've taken thousands and thousands or hundreds of thousands of free throws or 3-point shots, or you know, they've swung a golf club, hundreds of thousands of times a certain way. So when the pressure's on, when it's time to dig into what people would call that mental toughness, they can fall back on the practice they've put in and feel very confident because they've put in the reps, they've put in the work. So if there's ever an area that you're not feeling mentally tough, maybe you're just not putting enough time into it. Maybe you're not just putting enough reps into it. And maybe it's simply just putting yourself in that position enough times to where success is not just by chance, but it's inevitable.